eyes, line work, and final character details. Now we move into the eyes, the line work, and the final character details. This is one of the most sensitive parts of the repaint, because small changes here can have a big effect on the final result. Let's start with the eyes. The eyes are one of the main focal points of the figure, so they need patience and control. This is not the stage to rush. Use your thinner brush here and work with a very small amount of paint. If the brush is overloaded, the lines will spread too easily and the shapes will get messy. When painting the eyes, keep checking the balance between both sides. Do not only focus on one eye at a time without comparing them. Even a small difference can change the whole expression.
Now the eyes are in, so the focus shifts into the final line work on the face. For this, use black 70.950, but keep it slightly thinned so it flows cleanly from the tip of the brush. At this stage, the job is not to redraw the whole face. It is to sharpen the expression in the areas that matter most. Around the eyes, eyebrows, nose, and mouth, even a very small line can change the whole character. Try to use the very tip of the brush and pull the line toward yourself where possible. That usually gives more control than pushing the brush forward. If a line goes down a little too thick, do not panic and keep scrubbing at it. Let it settle, then come back with the surrounding color and cut the edge back in. That is usually cleaner than trying to wipe it while it is still wet. Now the line work moves on to the armour. Here, black 70.950 is being used to reinforce the plate separation and clean up the transitions between the white armour, the grey shading, and the chest panel. You do not need to outline every edge equally. Focus on the lines that improve clarity. On the chest panel and the white sections, try to follow the sculpt rather than inventing new shapes. If the panel line already reads clearly, just strengthen it. If it is already dark enough, leave it alone. Not every part needs the same weight. This is also where the smaller armor scratches and surface marks begin to help. Keep those marks short and controlled. They should look like part of the same anime-style finish, not random damage or rough sketch lines. A useful tip here is to vary the pressure slightly. A line that starts a little stronger and then tapers off usually looks much more natural than one stiff line with the same thickness all the way through. That small taper adds polish very quickly. As more of the chest and armor lines go in, keep stepping back and checking the overall balance. The black line work should make the figure feel sharper and more readable, not heavier. If the armor starts feeling too busy, it usually means too many lines are competing for attention. Now the focus starts moving more clearly onto the arms and the glove area. Again, using black 70.950, the goal is to reinforce the muscle separations and clean up the folds without making everything too dark. On the arms especially, the line work should support the sculpt, not overpower the highlights. When working on muscle line work, try to place the darker lines in the deeper cuts and natural divisions first. The larger muscle planes already have a lot of information from the shadows and highlights, so they usually do not need much extra outlining. A little restraint here makes the final result look stronger. On the gloves and hands, use the same brush control, but keep the marks even lighter. The folds around the wrist and fingers only need enough line work to make the form read clearly. If you overdo black on white sections, they stop feeling crisp and start looking dirty. This is a good stage to keep turning the piece slightly as you work. Sometimes a line that looks correct from one angle is too heavy from another. Checking from a few positions helps keep the detail balanced. By now, the arms and gloves should feel much cleaner and better defined. The aim is that the line work disappears into the figure when viewed as a whole, even though it is doing a lot of the final polishing. Now the final battle damage accents go in, using Scarlet 70.817. This color is not there to flood the damaged areas. It is there to add a sharper injury accent and give the exposed sections a bit more impact. Use Scarlet very selectively, usually in the deeper cuts or at the sharpest points of the damage. A few small accents will usually look much stronger than covering every damaged area in red. This is one of those cases where less really does work better. At the end of this stage, the figure should feel fully locked in. The eyes, line work, and final red accents are what take it from a solid repaint into something that feels finished, intentional, and much closer to a complete custom piece.